How's it going? I'm Dylan Strawder and this is Tackle Talk Tuesday. So, this week I believe we need to talk about this weather change and how fish are going to start adapting and moving. Of course, right now we're right before pre-spawn, at least was last week. Now we have a cold front coming in, a lot of rain. It's going to make these fish a little finicky and not want to eat. But as in a whole, right now is the time that they're going to start moving up, start getting ready to spawn, start to go to pre-spawn stage. I believe we should talk about top water first, what we're going to throw first thing in the morning. Right now, I believe you want to make a fish eat, you got to make some noise. So we're going to talk about this noise maker, this buzz bait. Buzz bait's a great bait to throw, especially when it's colder. Get these fish's attention, you got to have something, a little bit of noise in it, a little bit of vibration. This is a great bait to throw this time of year. I do love to throw frog. Frog is my favorite top water bait, but don't seem to get as many bites as I do on frog as I would this right now. But this is a good bait. I do want to go ahead and move forward to crankbaits and spinnerbaits. So, in my opinion, a spinnerbait is about your best bait as far as versatility. Right now, you got to have a bait that is versatile because these fish are versatile. They might move up to feed midday or first thing in the morning and move back down deep because it's not warm enough. So, let's talk about spinnerbait. When the fish up shallow, you can throw a spinnerbait, burn it across the top, shallow water, foot and a half, throw it. You can catch fish that way when it's warm enough. When the water temp is up and the fish have moved up to feed, this would be the bait to throw in there if you're trying to be a little versatile. Well, you can also throw this bait when they're a little bit down deeper and they're not ready to feed yet. You got a little ledge, a little fall, something like that. Throw this bait here and let it sink to the bottom. Sink to the bottom, you can reel across the bottom and catch fish that way too. You can throw it mid-range. If fish is not moving on the bottom, they ain't moved to the top, they're suspended. So suspended fish, sometimes it's really hard to get a bait down to a suspended fish and make them eat. Probably one of the hardest fish to catch is suspended fish. Suspended fish are a little finicky, and a lot of fish right now are going to be suspended because they ain't made their mind up yet. They don't know if they want to go back down deep or if they want to move up shallow. So I believe right now spinnerbait's going to be one of your best bets, throwing a bait to be a little versatile with these fish, because these fish, you're going to go to the lake next week or this weekend and it's going to be different. It's going to be a lot different with the rain and the cold. The pressure systems react to these fish. All right, spinnerbait. All right, let's move old crankbait. I like throwing old square bill right now. Square bill is a good bait. I call it my search bait. So, if you got fish out there that you're searching for, you can throw this out there and make a little noise. This one don't have a rattle. It's more for clear water, but you can throw this bait, cause a lot of vibration. It kind of wobbles in the water like this right here. So, throwing this bait, can't find fish. If you got a fish within 5 foot of it or so, it's going to hear it and it may see it. Something's got to trigger that fish to make it eat, so that the vibration kind of helps out with that. And this is one of those ones you throw in about 4 foot of water, 5 foot of water, somewhere around in there. I throw all my crankbaits on 12-pound fluorocarbon, make them get a little bit deeper, because I do like to ride the bottom a little bit. So that bait will bump off the bottom like that. I like to throw them around docks, and I like to throw them around brush. Got any kind of brush or dock, somewhere a fish can sit and hide. Bass are lazy. I don't think right now that they are just absolutely going to chase a bait down. But if you put it right in front of their face and it comes by them, they're going to eat it. If they want to eat, they're going to eat it. This is a great one to throw in clearer water. It's more of that shad color. I like to throw this one here. You can throw these in clear water as well, but they work good in stained water, a little bit of mud in the water, it always makes a fish easier to catch, if you ask me, because they can't see all the imperfections of your bait or your line. So I like to throw this one in muddier water, but in clear water it works good as well. It's crawfish color, and right now crawfish is probably one of the main meals of a bass, just because shad ain't came in full yet. They ain't spawned out yet. Shad spawn ain't started, so this is a good bait to throw right now. I like to throw it up there at Lake Martin a whole lot. Here at Lake Hardin it catches fish as well. But you want that crawfish red color if you can get it. Throw in that stained water. Now, these two are in that 4-5 foot range. This week, because it's gotten cold, it's 40 degrees. Last week it was 80 degrees. You're gonna have to throw something go a little bit deeper. Now, old Ott Defoe knew what he was doing when he made a sling. I can tell you that. Now this one dies 6 foot. 6 foot, pretty good depth. Especially for a fish that's going to be suspended. Can't figure out if it wants to move up from that 12 foot range, that 15 foot range on up to 3, 4, 5 foot. So you can throw this here, like I said, on 12-pound fluorocarbon. I can get a little bit deeper with it, about 7 foot maybe. But this is a good bait for versatility. You can throw it around, fish is going to be suspended, you can throw it in there. It's a good search bait. Of course, this one's made for stained water, a little bit dirtier. I throw it in clear water too. It does look like a fish, but it does have that crawfish color. So it's a good bait to throw. And I really enjoy throwing these crankbaits, I do. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what you may have seen last week on Hartwell during the Bassmaster Classic. So, Bassmaster Classic, seen a lot of people throwing swim baits and glide baits and all that good stuff. Well, they have blueback herring there. Blueback herring is a lot better to me than shad. They're a lot more abundant. You don't have to wait for a shad spawn. Those things school any point in time of the year. If you can get on a good blueback herring school where the bass are just feeding on it, then you gotta throw something in there that's gonna catch their attention and act like one of those blueback herring that are either injured or dying. A bass is gonna pick the weakest thing for it to eat. It's not about having to run halfway across the lake to chase one little fish. It's gonna go after the bait that is wounded or hurt, whatever you can throw in there that mimics that. Now this is a big one. This is a darn custom bait out of Florida. I like to go down there and throw it. I like to throw it here too, certain times of year. It's not quite that time of year for this yet, because we don't have blueback herring in every one of our lakes, and we got them in some of them, but not every one of them. But this here is a good bait to throw. Glide bait. Throw glide bait, hangs out in that 1.5, 1 foot, a half a foot range. This is really slow sinking one, like I said, custom bait, balsa wood. And balsa wood floats really well. Good bait to throw right now, and they're throwing glide baits like this and like this up there at Hartwell this week. And that, you know, those fish were trying to move up. Some of them were really shallow. Some of them were still hanging out a little deep. But I seen those guys throwing that around, and I was like, yeah, I said, they must be on those blueback herring, and sure enough, that's what it was. And those blueback herring, you can throw that bait in there that kind of looks like a dying fish. And as you can see, this one right here wiggles and wobbles a good bit, but throw something in there that looks like old dying fish, and hopefully it gets you a bite. Now, I want to talk about this bait right here. Because when times get tough, this is what I pick up. And I believe this week times is going to be tough on the lake. Just because of this cooler weather, it's going to back these fish off a little bit, make them not want to eat as much. It's going to lower that water temp. We got all this rain, and fish don't like the rain, just like we don't like rain. Storms does not produce fish. They're like any other animal. When a storm comes in, they go lay down somewhere and hide. I like to throw this bait here. It's old brush hog, green pumpkin. Zoom makes it. I always throw it on an Angler tungsten quarter ounce weight, and sometimes 3/8 ounce. The lighter the weight, the slower the fall, and I believe if you throw a lighter weight, if you can, with the wind and all that good stuff, and it leaves that in that strike zone a little bit longer. So you got a bait that's falling like this instead of like this. You want that slow floating dying action, like I was talking about. Those fish are gonna go after injured or dying, not dead, not bouncing around. They're gonna go after something that's a little easier for them to go after. Now I like to throw this around docks, and I like to throw it around brush, where fish can hide and sit and stay in a easy striking position without having to chase a bait down. You want to throw something like this. It's pulled them out for me time and time again. It pulled it out for me last week at Lake Hardin. I only had 2 fish in the live well and needed that 5 and finally got that 5 and ended up culling off this bait. So it's a really good bait to throw on Texas rig and Carolina rig even, but I throw it on Texas rig and you can catch some fish that way. Well, I believe I talked about all the baits I want to talk about this week. Next week we're gonna do it again, see what the fish are doing, how they're adapting with the weather change. Hopefully we can adapt with them and keep catching fish. I hope to do some more videos other than Tackle Talk Tuesday. Hopefully I can film some stuff on the lake and actually throw some baits for y'all to see. Throw some baits and show you catch me some fish and show y'all how I do it, and maybe give y'all a little bit of an edge, and maybe it'll give me a little bit of an edge too. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and maybe I'll see y'all next week. Thank you.